Hey, good morning. It's your friend Kevin, and I am excited to be here to talk with you, to chat with you, to just bring you a little bit of joy first thing in the morning. So the little nugget for today is going to be starting off the day on the right foot instead of the back foot. I thought I would share with you my nuggets for how I get going, how I start off what I do. Not really so much a ritual, although it sort of is. I'm careful to stay away from things like rituals and stuff like that because they're just habits. Another word for a habit to get in. And I really think, looking back on the journey that I've come on, it would be more appropriate for me to say the potholes that I fell into, because I'm sure it's just like you. There are potholes, things that come out of habit, things that we don't do, and then we feel like, oh gosh, I should have done it, should have done it. The sort of like the knowing what we need to do, what we should be doing, and then not. So this is where we start off on the back foot, not the front foot, the right side, not the wrong side. What I will say about any of that, the minute, the moment, the fragment of time that you catch yourself realizing that something is off, that you are in this weird mood, or that something has caught you, grabbed you, slapped you, pushed you, shoved you into a place that is not aligned up with joy and is not aligned up with the graciousness of which you came or which you open your eyes, then that moment, that present peace, that's the bit that you realize, oh, I got it. The minute you realize that something's off is the minute you've gone, transformed, grown from it. It's a bit like spiritual doo-doo. You step over it and you move on. So what do? First thing now, I learned, I'm always learning. And whatever I learn, I share because I think, oh, this is a good thing to share. So what did I learn? Well, let's go into this little bit. Yesterday, I got these cards out. I remember I told you I cut the seal on the cards, and what do you do with them? Well, the first thing you do is you go to the guidebook, which is this lovely little book here. The author of, let me go back onto this camera, that's better. The author, Radley Valentine, has this fabulous little book, which is quite thick. And I always look to see, what does this person, when somebody authors a card or comes up with tarot or oracles or whatever cards they are, there's always a reason for it, or should be. And I think the folks at Hay House who publish them have sort of this intelligence that says we want something that has a reason for being, something that's a reason to be on the shelf, as opposed to shoving up another deck of cards with another thing that says the same thing. So I was looking through the beginning of it to see what is his way for blessing the cards, making the cards your own. There's those rituals that say we're supposed to do these things to make the cards sort of line up with us. They've been packaged, they've been handled. I don't know that they've been handled because I think a machine does it, but even so, you want something to be more personal. You want the cards to speak to you, to bring you the messages. You want the angels to sort of come through you into the cards. That's called an intention. That is setting the intention that whatever you do with the tarot or the oracle is going to be, and there'll be another quick video on difference between tarot and oracle and what I've discovered in a minute. So what struck me was that at the very beginning, before Radley Valentine does anything, he looks at the cards and the reading as it's a job. And when we open our eyes and put our feet on the floor, we have this job. We've got a job to do. We've been in sleep land. We've been asleep. We've switched off. We've gone into dreams. Whatever you believe the dream world is, I think we travel. I think we go back and forth to different realms because I know myself. In some of my dreams, I become somebody else. I also feel, which is really different, that I'm actually myself as I am in this life, but I'm transported into some other life and I'm hanging out with people I don't know in this life, but somehow in the dream I know them and I'm with them and I'm speaking to them and we're doing all kinds of things. Now, there are those weird dreams that has me doing crazy things that I almost want to let me get up out of this. All right, so what Bradley Valentine says is the angels, the guardian angels, and you have more than one. You don't just have one that's with you all through life. I think we've got more than one, like a little family of guardian angels that are with you from one time to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. They come help you do your job. Actually, their job is to help you do your job. They're almost like guardian assistants, if you will. Our job, in order to help them do their job, is to be grateful for that. So, Mr. Valentine taught me yesterday through these treatments of these cards that what we must be to open that door of miracles, to open that door of unexpected pleasantries, is to be grateful and is to be thankful. And the first thing before he does anything or suggests to his students before you do anything first thing is to thank the angels with a prayer. Now, prayer was something that my grandma Mabel taught me to do as a little boy. It was just asking in her mind God. Well, then I learned recently that you say thank you for something that you want to have happen. You bring it into the present. You imagine it's already happened and you're saying thank you for it. Even though it hasn't happened, you're manifesting what it is you want, law of attraction, A Course in Miracles. You're actually putting that in motion. And when you put something in motion in the present time that hasn't actually manifested in the physical time, you've actually created it. And I'm going to say that one more time. When you give thanks and grateful for something in the present time, the time you're in, saying thank you for it, which hasn't physically manifested in the physical time, you've really manifested it because you're saying thank you for it right now. So here's the bit that gets crazy. You could say, well, that's easy to say. What if I said thank you for the millions of dollars you gave me? You probably already had $1 million if you count how many dollars you've had and spent, used up and done. The house you bought, the cars, plural. The clothes, plural. The food, multiple. All of this stuff is part of abundance. I'm going off topic. Let me get back on. Granny's here telling me, come on, get on with it. I love her. Okay, so starting off with a prayer. You can pray like we did yesterday, and I'll repeat this one. Thank you, God and angels, for showing me how I can live a life of service in a way that serves me, my joy, my contentment, and my income. I am ready to live on purpose, with purpose, knowing my being is being sustained, and so it is. Right, so that is good and general and amazing for them to say, yes, we know, we got you. But here's one to start the day off. This one is specifically done based upon what I read yesterday and what I kind of scribbled myself. Thank you, dear guardian angels, for being with me in all ways, in all things, in all directions of time and space today. Thank you for your unlimited assistance in all that I accomplish today. Your help and your presence I so appreciate today. So it is and forever will be. And I wrote that a few times to get it right, to kind of condense it, to make it more simple, to make it less wordy. And I then stumbled upon this card that popped up, deliberate creation. We have to understand that everything is created deliberately. on purpose. Now, how do you then explain, okay, well, the west coast of the country last weekend had a tsunami that started in Tonga. Okay, well, they happened. Did it happen on purpose? Probably because the earth had a volcano somewhere in Tonga that just bubbled up, a boil on the planet, which rippled out and ended up in California. Okay, this happened. Does it happen on purpose? Well, if you look at the planet, there's going to be things that the planet does. It has to move, it has to shake, it has to readjust itself based upon atmospheric changes, right? Most people want to stick it down to global warming. Other people want to say it's because the human race has been so catastrophic with the whatever you want to put it on. You can go there, but that's the reality. So deliberate creation means that from the things that happen, from the ways that things unfold, we get to create something on purpose with it. So if you look at the fact that you go from lifetime to lifetime, remember the dreaming, we dream and we become other people and play around with other people and do all kinds of things with people we don't even know. Then we wake up, we become who we are back in our body. I don't know if we physically get up out the body. I think the spirit does. It's the only way I know how to explain it. For me, I don't know what you explain it, and I'm interested. Write your comments. But anyway, deliberate creation. And I thought, well, why am I picking up deliberate creation? What has this got to be about? It is about taking stock of everything you do from the time that you get up. Yesterday, don't fill your head with what happened, because it's done. Even if you made a mistake, even if you, like in my case, realized, oh, I've been a bit cheeky. I've been a little bit, oh, I should have said this, shouldn't have said that. And, there were some cases last week where I was not feeling it. It was, I'm having one of those moments. It reminds me of Sacha Bonasin, who does the astrology forecasting, which is lovely because he doesn't talk about astrology. He just goes into tarot. I think, how is it astrology reading and all you do is do tarot? I love it. Anyway, he talks about his moments. He has his moments. And then he goes off into song. That's deliberate creation. He is deliberately creating a situation for people. He's serving people as well as himself. This is the deliberate creation. The prayer that talks about saying thank you for showing me how to serve my world, how to serve my purpose and serve myself, serve my income, serve my abundance, serve my bill paying. Just like that. Prosperity. The angels don't necessarily know the difference between $1 and $1 million. They just know how you feel about it. So you're thinking, oh, okay, how would I feel if I got to, where is this? Luxuriate the day and luxuriate my life. How would that feel? Tell me what luxury feels like. And all of a sudden your vibrational energy lifts up and goes up and gets up and goes out. This is how you start your day. Instead of, oh, here we go, I got to go to the office. Oh, gosh, that, well, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what your angels and your guides do with that. I can only imagine. Sometimes when I'm walking around and I'm seeing people in their woe and in their heaviness, almost like want to say, wake up. Hello. There's a better way to be. You don't have to be all this. You don't have to be all that. You don't have to be covered up in all this. But I understand where they're coming from. For sure, I do. It's almost like I want to get a hold of Miss Manners. Remember Miss Manners? She wrote that column. Her name really wasn't Miss Manners. I don't know who she was. I actually want to say Miss Manners was actually a man that wrote this column in a newspaper. God, goodness knows how many years ago. Anyway, quite cheeky, quite blunt, quite to the point. It was really all about etiquette. People would tell them, write in with their problems, and she'd answer them back with a little bit of a click and a twist and that, get yourself together. All right. So I think I've answered that. Starting off on the right foot, Do a prayer. Thank you, guardian angels, for being with you. And know they're always with you. The biggest way to start off on the right side of the bed is to be grateful, grateful, grateful. What are you truly grateful for? Being alive, thank you. Heart pumping, feet on the ground, eyes open, nice warm shower, gorgeous house. Even though it's been snowing, it's icy, it's kind of picturesque, it's kind of nice. Now it gets sloppy, now it gets messy, and thank you for the road crews getting out there in the cold, spreading all that muck and mire to get the ice to melt, and thank you for the other cars that have blazed the trail for opening up the roadway so I can go breezing along without a problem. These are the things I'm grateful for, truly grateful for, not taken for granted. There's gratitude and taken for granted, and we have to get out the ditch of taking for granted. All right, my friends, well, since I have done this, read this guidebook thing and gone through this, I've done my blessings of the card, and I love them. You know, it's a bit like Christmas every time. Well, come on, get on out of here. And I'll explain in another video how you bless these cards. It's pretty simple, but they're quite pretty. Got just very simple backs to them. There's one like that. Oh, there we go. And I love the images. This one is the Four of Water. There we go, like that. There you are. A little man sitting on the shore looking at the 4 cups. Well, one's over his head, 3's in front of him. And the little message is distraction, self-absorption, discontentment. So water in Radley's world is cups, emotions, feelings. Air are thoughts, ideas. Let's see, what are the ones? That's the fire, that's the action, that's the doing of, the getting up and going to. Then there's another set of, well, the ones are also earth, security, money, finance, business, jobs, that kind of thing. That's how it's set up in the 4 suits. And then the major arcana and the minor arcana. Major are the journey of life. Starts off with the dreamer, 0, goes up to number 21, 22, the world, something like that. And then the minor, which is split up into pip cards, and I'll explain all this, what the difference is. Anyway, I'm going to pick one of these cards. So let's go over to the other camera. I know, Granny, I'm talking too much. All right, so thank you, angels, archangels, ascended masters, for presenting me with these cards, for being here. It feels good to know that you're around. Whoop, there's one that popped out. There we go. So when that happens, they call it jumpers. I just go with it. A gorgeous angel, and it's the number 14. It's talking about finding the balance, and in this image, I'll pop it up on my handy little lifted glass. One day I'll find an arm that I can pull the camera up and down and it gets closer. You have an angel that's reminding you today to make some compromises and exercise some self-control, and to live in moderation. The angel is your guardian angel, as all these cards are about the guardian angels, who I would say has popped in to have you take stock of what do you need to release and let go and discard. And they could be thoughts that keep coming up that you really don't like, or they could be items in your cupboards that have been there forever, but for some reason you're not releasing them and letting them go. Balance is really about the chi energy, the energy that's in you. There's a reason why we feel out of control. The things are out of our out of control, and how to bring things back into moderation. I think I've shared with you in my own life that I'm now aware of the triggers being food. That is a comfort for me. And balance would be to say, do I just want that bag of French fries, or is something triggering the desire to be comforted? And that, for me, has been huge. It is that I now know how the angels come around and say, you can have them if you want them. You know that you can. But get in touch with the reason why you want them. And if it has to do with why I want to be comforted, what is making you uncomfortable? Is it a disappointment, which is an expectation that didn't quite turn out? Is it a harsh word from someone else that caught you the wrong way and reminded you of when you were little and someone said something similar and made you feel less than incredibly perfect? So these are the little things you find balance and you find moderation. It is in just being present to the behaviors. And that can also mean, do you need another pair of boots? And if it is, well, yes, I'm going to feel better when I've got those cha-cha heel boots on. And I'm just going to be all stylish and profiling as I go about my business. That's a good reason to do what you need to do. But if it is, well, because I'll feel better about myself, no, that's not so good. You've got to get in touch with always feeling better about yourself, and then have whatever you want, get whatever you want. Now, I remind myself in my madness, you've only got 2 feet. You do not need 17 pairs of shoes for 2 feet. They've got to be comfortable, sustainable, last a while, and keep you going, one foot in front of the other. Yes, is it nice to have a pair that you wear that are smart and stylish? Yes, you can have that pair. Is it nice to have a pair in the house when you're wandering around and it's nice and warm and they're fuzzy and it's wintertime? Yes, comfort, have those. I'm just using these as examples. All right, I think I've chatted on long enough. You have yourself a wonderful day. I love you, and until next time, bye.